Hello student. In previous lecture we saw some important point. Now we will see next paragraph page number 147. Man says you needn't ask who I am. That placard will tell you. Points to placard. Sergeant says you are the man I am looking for. Man says, takes off hat and wig. Sergeant sees them. I am. There is 100 pounds on my head. There is a friend of mine below in a boat. Means they are a friend. He knows a safe place to bring me to. Means the man says that they are friends and definitely my friends are coming. Sergeant says, looking still at hat and wig. Wig means artificial hair. It's a pity you deceive me well. Man says, I am a friend of Granule. There is 100 pounds on my head. Sergeant says, it's a pity. Man says, will you let me pass? Or must I make you let me? Sergeant says, I am in the force. I will not let you pass. Man says, I thought to do in with my tongue in bracket puts hand in breast. What is that? Voice of policeman X outside. Here, this is where we left him. Sergeant says, it's my comrades coming. Man says, you won't betray me. The friends of Granule in bracket sleeps behind barrels in bracket voice of policeman B. That was the last of the placard. Policeman X says that as they come in, if he makes his escape, it won't be unknown. He will make it. Sergeant puts hat and wig behind his back. Policeman B says, did anyone come this way? Sergeant says, after a pause, no one. Policeman B says, no one at all. Sergeant says, no one at all. Policeman B says, we had no order to go back to the station. We can stop along with you. Sergeant says, I don't want you. There is nothing for you to do here. In this paragraph, two colleagues come near. He hid the wig and hat behind him. He says he had seen no one that does not require their company. He wants the place to be quiet when the policeman be offered to leave a lantern with him. He does not accept it. They tell him that he may need it as the night is dark and cloudy. It provides not only light with warmth too. It is like the fire at home. Now we will see next paragraph, page number 148. Policeman B says, you bid us to come back here and keep watch with you. Sergeant says, I had sooner be alone. Would any man come this way and you making all that talk? It is better the place to be quiet. Policeman B says, well, we will leave you the lantern anyhow. In bracket, hands it to him. Sergeant says, I don't want it. Bring it with you. Policeman B says, you might want it. There are a cloud coming up and you have the darkness of the night before you eat. I will leave it over here on the barrel. In bracket goes to barrel. Sergeant says, bring it with you. I tell you, no more talk. Policeman B says, well, I thought it might be comfort to you. I often think when I have it in my hand and can be flashing it about into every dark corner. That is the same as being beside the fire at home, and the bits of the bogwood blazing up now and again. In bracket, flashes it about now on the barrel, now on the on sergeant. Sergeant says, furious, be up, the two of you, yourself and you lantern, in bracket, they go out. Man comes from behind barrel. He and sergeant stand looking at one another. Sergeant says, what are you waiting for? Man says, for my hat, of course, and my wig. You wouldn't wish me to get my death of cold? Sergeant gives them. Man says, goes towards steps. Well, good night, comrade. Comrade means friend, and thank you. You didn't, you did me a good turn tonight, and I am obliged to you. Maybe I will be able to do as much for you when the small rise up and the big fall down. When we all change place at the rising in bracket waves his hand and disappear of the moon. Sergeant says in bracket turning his back to the audience to audience and reading placard. £100 reward, £100 reward. In bracket turns towards audience. I wondered now, am I as great a fool as I think I am? In this paragraph, the sergeant ordered them to go at once. They go. The man comes out from behind the barrels. He tells the sergeant that he wants his hat and wig back before he goes away. He goes towards the step. He expresses his gratitude to him. He tells him that he may be able to do as much for him when Ireland became free. When the small will rise and the big will fall down. At the rising of the moon, they will change places. The rising of the moon is a symbol of Irish independence. As the man disappears, the sergeant reads the placard and turning to the audience. He is a fool to give up the reward. Now, I hope that you will understand all points of the rising of the moon.